Hello YouTubers, you're an all-new movie review, and recently I went over my non-spoiler Wonder Woman review. You can check it out on my channel or in the link below. Wonder Woman stars Gal Gadot, Chris Pine, Robin Wright, Connie Nielsen, Danny Huston, Elena Anaya, David Thewlis, and is directed by Patty Jenkins. This is going to contain spoilers. Now, to talk Wonder Woman spoilers, yeah, this was an awesome movie. It was nice to see a big budget superhero film that was female driven and female directed. However, it's not the first female directed superhero film. It is a first female driven, female directed superhero film on a big budget. Patty Jenkins previously did Monster, and she's an amazing director. She did a great job with this, and she knows what the character of Wonder Woman is, and brings that to us. Gal Gadot does a terrific job as Diana Prince. You also have Chris Pine in there. He does a great job as Steve Trevor, Connie Nielsen, Robin Wright, and you also have the villains. General Ludendorff and Dr. Poison are pretty good villains. But really, it's Ares in this that's a big villain. But before I go on to that, to start from the beginning, I love how it opens, the new DC Comics opening. But I also love how it starts in modern day. It starts after Batman vs. Superman Dawn of Justice, and I like that. And you also get to have Diana Prince find the photograph. The old photograph we saw in BVS is seen, and then it's a flashback movie. I love how everything is linear, how the colors look, how they make Themyscira look is just amazing. And I love it. It's everything that I've seen of Themyscira from the cartoons, comics, video games. And I like how they introduced Wonder Woman, seeing her as a child growing to be an adult warrior. I love how they messed around with the origins of her being made from clay and Zeus creating her. I love that. But you also get to see her mother as this warrior. Not at first, but you see that she is weathered. She knows what the outside world is like, and she wants to protect her daughter. Ultimately, a very great origin until we get to Steve Trevor being found. I like how he's introduced through a force field, and that's amazing because I always thought it was in some other area in the world that wasn't discovered yet, but I love how they add the force field thing, so that's why the outside world isn't aware of Themyscira with a force field. I just love that. That's a cool way to hide it from the rest of the world, and to hide the rest of the world from Diana. And I like the stuff with Steve Trevor, that opening battle. There's a lot of slow-mo stuff, there's a lot of CGI, but it's done in such a cool way. And I love it. It's really just the perspective of war for the first time through Diana's eyes. You get to see her reacting to this savage nature of man. Them using guns against arrows is pretty powerful. And all around, I like the lasso of truth and some of the humor. And then we get to go to the outside world. There's a lot of great character development moments throughout this whole film, especially between Steve Trevor and Diana Prince. And seeing London, it's great. As I said in my other review, it's a fish out of water tale for both parties. I love it when he meets his secretary and Wonder Woman saying, "Where I come from, that's slavery." Her trying on the different outfits. They even have a homage to Superman the movie with the alley scene. I love it where she blocks a bullet. She's even wearing a hat and glasses, much like Clark Kent. And I love that. That's a cool little reference, and it's nice seeing Steve Trevor be a capable person, but also seeing a male character in kind of like a damsel in distress role. It's reversed in this female-driven film, but it's not just about being a female hero. It really is a theme about what a hero is, what they believe in, and beliefs being challenged, and I love that. It's a film for everybody. And yeah, as far as Ares, I kind of knew Ares wasn't going to be Ludendorff. At first I thought it was, but then when the other guy was introduced, I'm like, why is he so interested in peace and then that territory? And the fact that he gave him money, I knew something was off. But I wasn't quite sure until the actual moment. But I love how they meet the crew, and you ultimately realize, if you've seen the other movie, that's the crew that they took a photo with. And I like that other guy who wanted to be an actor. He was in G.I. Joe Rise of Cobra, and I think, if I believe it's the same character, he ends up being Black Hawk, part of the Black Hawks that fought in World War II in the comics. So that was kind of cool, and it was also cool seeing them translate it from World War II to World War I. And I figured something was going to happen to Steve Trevor along the way. Either he was going to be older or something tragic, because in Batman vs. Superman, she says she gave up on the world of man a long time ago. And she's not like that in this origin story. So I had to see exactly what changed Diana as a person. And it was nice to see this origin story. Ultimately, I love all the action scenes, and it really picks up when you start to see the terrors of war, women, children, and they're in Germany, there's the trenches, and her fighting for the first time. That theme song, just amazing fight scenes, both regular motion, slow motion. The lasso shows her strength. She's a strong female warrior. I love that whole fight scene. I love the quiet moments in the town, more with Steve Trevor and her. And then that gala they have. And then ultimately it being nerf gassed. The hydrogen gas is just tragic. It really shows her wrath. And then that whole twist with Ares is very powerful, I think. The only thing that got to me was the kind of jarring editing when it came to the fight, and I wish they only had one conversation with Steve Trevor. The first time it was kind of deaf. The second time it was actual dialogue. If they kept the actual dialogue and then her seeing what happens to him when he self-sacrifices himself and destroys the gas, would have been more powerful. But that's just nitpicking. Overall, that Ares reveal was just genius. I love that. The guy played Professor Lupin in Prisoner of Azkaban of Harry Potter. And then I liked how he got his armor and then the whole backstory. It felt very much like the Wonder Woman comics. Before watching this, I was speculating she would either fight Hades or Ares. Hades, because I've seen that happen in the Injustice game and Justice League. And Ares, I was like, it's World War I. What if they got the God of War involved? That's what I thought. And overall, like the soundtrack, cinematography, the way she fights, everything about it. And then ultimately to his sacrifice, her defeating Ares and stopping the war. And then her experience through living with that to modern day. That little nod of Bruce Wayne's email. And her pretty much flying at the end. That was kind of cool. Ultimately, it was a great standalone film. It was, after BVS, it wasn't building up Justice League, but it had a solid Wonder Woman solo film. Isolated onto itself that happened to also connect to other stuff, but not dependent on that. It was just Wonder Woman. And I love that in the story. Other favorite moments, I love how she could speak different languages when she's speaking like 3 to 4 different languages. That was cool, and the way she fought, and how naive yet how caring she was. It wasn't a vengeful hero, it was a reactive hero who could fight but didn't like violence per se, and I like that approach. And I also like that she had certain values she wanted to stand for. In a way, it reminds me of Captain America or like Superman from the Christopher Reeve films. It brings that sense of hope in a world that's not exactly optimistic about everything. It's a very cynical world, much like our real world now. And the fact that they brought the theme of hope, not only in the story, but in modern day, is just perfect. It's a shame that it took about over 75 years to have a movie, 40 years since the Linda Carter show, but you know, I feel like it was good to basically wait for a Wonder Woman movie, but also it could not have come out at a better time the way our surroundings are in the world right now. And I'm just glad to see a female hero that girls all around the world, women all around the world right now in the future can look up to. My nieces, yeah. And I just like it. Gal Gadot is perfect for Wonder Woman. She embodies every characteristic of the character. Certain values, her naiveness, her charm, her fierceness as a warrior, just everything about the character is perfect. And I was a fan of hers before Wonder Woman. I was actually excited when she was cast because I was kind of interested to see what they would bring to the table. It was a very unconventional choice that worked out. Much like Heath Ledger in The Dark Knight as a Joker or Michael Keaton as Batman. Chris Pine, I thought he did an amazing job as Steve Trevor, and he also got to show more of his acting skills, not only playing opposite a female and stuff, but also being a little bit more serious, being undercover, speaking German, different things. That scene where he's talking about values, he's just like, it's not about what other people are doing, it's about what you believe in. And that was such a strong scene that really adds motivation to the character she's going to become. The other actors do a great job as well. I like how they deal with post-traumatic stress and just different themes of humanity in this one tale. It's a very serious film without being dark and bleak. Like I said in my previous review, it's colorful but without being too joke-oriented, without being a comedy, but it's serious without being dark and bleak. So it's that perfect balance, much like the Sam Raimi Spider-Man's Superman the movie. It's a serious approach to a comic book character that I highly respect, and I love it. Wonder Woman is a 5 out of 5 and an A+ for me. It is just an amazing movie. And I love that first confrontation. It's just like, who are you? And he's just like, you'll soon find out. And she's like, I am Diana, Princess of Themyscira. And she's talking. And then I love that whole confrontation. And also with the fight, she's not a perfect being. Everybody kind of has their flaws, but they learn stuff. She learns how to be a hero throughout this origin movie. She doesn't know everything right away. And I like that. I like how she's learning. So by the end of the movie, she becomes the Wonder Woman we all know and love. And the one that we saw a glimpse of in Batman vs. Superman: Dawn of Justice. So I like that. Overall, it's a fantastic movie and probably my favorite DCEU film. I actually like it as much as Man of Steel. And I like all the DC films. I did not hate the other DC films. I didn't like Suicide Squad as much as the others, but Wonder Woman is just a fantastic movie. It's streamlined, it knows what it wants to say, and it says it, and it's just a perfect story. This is what happens when you have filmmakers who have a strong vision, who know what the character is, and tells the stories, and you also have producers who let them tell their story. So with Jeff Johns taking over, you can tell somebody from the comics took over, and they'll not only know what the character's about, but they have more confidence in it. It's not just about Batman, Superman, and I really want to see more of the solo films, and I want to see how Justice League's going to be after this. I'm going to go see it again multiple times. 5 out of 5 and an A+. That's just my quick spoiler review of Wonder Woman. I love the airy stuff. I love the stuff on Themyscira. Some of the humor regarding man and reproduction and stuff was funny. A woman's place versus a man's place. Her fitting into the world, the ice cream scene, straight from like the New 52 comics. Him telling her to basically stay back when she blocks the bullets, like maybe not. And just different things like that, and the music is just awesome, the cinematography. Patty Jenkins and Gal Gadot are just Wonder Women. I mean, they did an amazing job, and the cast did a great job for the characters, and ultimately, it's one of the best films of the year. So yeah, if you were watching this right now, you've seen Wonder Woman, you know how it is. Feel free in the comments, let me know your favorite moments of Wonder Woman in the spoiler review. If you somehow saw this without seeing it, go watch it. But yeah, just let me know what you think of Wonder Woman in the comments below, and if you like this, feel free to click the like button, comment, subscribe to my channel, and also check out my other review. I have a initial reaction review. Anyway, that's all for today. Have a great day. And I'm going to go see Wonder Woman again. Hell yeah. That's an awesome movie, and I'm just happy to see the character finally on the big screen. Maybe we'll get a fight with Cheetah like in Super Friends and have an invisible jet. I don't know.